Just walking out of the third and final city gate, out of the old town into the newer area, and you can see, according to Google, I'm about an hour and a half now away from the fortress right at the top of that mountain. So that's where I'm gonna head to. The temperature is hot, it's about 80 degrees. So I've got plenty of water with me. As I said earlier, the cable car is closed, but I will just walk by on the way there just in case they've reopened. But it's still pretty windy. It's not so bad in the old city because you're protected from it, but once you get out, there is quite a bit of wind up there. Man, this pathway starts with a tough challenge right from the get-go. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but the steps behind me, there must be about 200, 300 of them. Just walked all the way up there from the old town on these steps. I think I'm pretty much at the top. Thought it was a dead end for a minute. That would have been slightly annoying, but there is another little staircase that comes up to its right. That brings me up onto a road. I think I've got to just keep on going. I'm in Cat Alley, I think. Lots of cats all over the place. I'm watching them, they're watching me. I think I've got to go up here next. Oh no, maybe not. I thought it was up there, but there's a gate. I think when I came to that road I should have turned left instead of going straight on. So back we go. Right, I think I'm back on track. Straight up here, a few zigzags, and then I should find a proper hiking trail. Well, there was a path, now there isn't. And there will be again in just a second. Here we go. Right, well, I found the start of the actual trail. Wow. When they said trail, they weren't kidding. Look at this. Wow, it's about now I could do with that huge wave splashing and soaking me. So at least it's shaded on some of this pathway. There's alpine trees at the lower end of the mountain, so protecting me from the sunlight at the moment. I think I'm going to have to get some water out my bag in just a second though. Going probably 3/4 of the way up now, getting some good views. Don't know if you can see behind me, some good views of the ocean and the town down there by the sea, and also the island that I was supposed to go and visit this morning. Right, about another 15-20 minutes I reckon. Let's go. An hour and 10 now, and I'm pretty much there. I think you can probably see behind me the fort. Just I think perhaps one more stretch of pathway, and then maybe some steps and I'm there. This looks like another abandoned outbuilding. Wow. Wow, look at that. There's no way I'm going in there. Look at that roof. Look at the walls. It looks like it's just about to come crumbling down. Some of it already has. Well, as you saw, I made it right to the top. I'm now standing outside a huge fortress, and it looks like this fortress has been left in the damaged state that it was left in after the Homeland War, the Croatian War in 1991 to 1995. It's still really in bad repair, as you've just seen in the last clip. But it looks like there's now a museum inside dedicated to Dubrovnik during the Homeland War, 1991 to 1995. So I'm going to go in and have a look. So I'm inside Fort Imperial, heading up towards the roof. So I've just come up through that doorway. This fort was one of the main targets during the start of the Croatian Homeland War. Of course, it's on top of a mountain. It's really strategically important. It's a great position. You can see all around it. The Yugoslav army, made up primarily of Montenegro and Serbia, started by firing missiles and artillery at this location right here, and that's why it's looking so damaged and broken down. The only repairs they've made are to make it safe. So here, for example, you can see the wall of the fort right here at the top being blown to bits. There's now a little wooden fence there to stop you from falling over, and you see what incredible views you've got of the whole of Dubrovnik. There's the old town down there, there's the island, and that's other areas of Dubrovnik there as well. The strategic importance of this place wasn't the only reason why they began by bombing it. Another reason was because it has a huge telecommunications mast, which you may be able to see behind me, that delivers communication right across the area. And their target was also to bring down and destroy that, as most attacking forces will try and do. It's a basic tactic of war, to try and destroy the enemy's telecommunications so that they can't communicate. I really love how they've done this actually. It's really cleverly put together. As I say, the partially destroyed and damaged fort is home to this exhibition these days that guides you through what happened during the war, and this room in particular gives you the opportunity to have a look at lots of photographs that were taken around the area, a bit like the War Photo Museum the other day, but this is specifically photos taken around the fort and in Dubrovnik. This photograph right here was taken in the Srđ, which is the main road that runs through the old town. You can see it's deserted. You can also see that a lot of the buildings are damaged. This was after a day of shelling in 1991. So I've made my way down about 5 minutes from the fort, and I'm now standing in the middle of a little foresty area. But interestingly enough, if you look behind me, you can see a larger forest in the background there, but then behind that there's a large mountain range. That mountain range is in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So there's a border down there somewhere, an international border, and it's not like a European border or a Schengen border. It's actually a hard border, so if you were to try and walk across it, you might end up in a Bosnian jail for the night. So I'm not going to go too far in that direction. Another interesting fact is, if you go come around here with a camera. Behind me now, if you follow that through about 30 miles, you come to the border of Montenegro and Croatia. Again, I'm not going to go down there on this trip, although I did look at getting across the border for a day trip to either Bosnia or Montenegro, but the paperwork and the hire car charges, there's no buses running, it was quite difficult, so I didn't do it. But I'm glad I didn't, because I've filled the trip up really with what I'm doing here. I'm going to head back up to, there was a cross over there, so I'm going to go and have a look at that cross and see what that's all about. I'm the last one to leave the museum, the fort, heading back down the hill now, as I said. And I've got to say, one thing I just wanted to mention, definitely worth that, we're definitely advantaged by that cable car not working, because I think it really kept away the tourists today. Wasn't many people here. Okay. Darkness has fallen, I think the rest of the way by iPhone light. Right, I'm out of the alpine forestry and the stone snaky paths. I'm on the side of a road now, but at least it's all lit up nicely. So a little bit further up here, then I'll be turning right, hopefully going down a whole load of steps and then back into the old town. Here we go then, just walking back into the old town now through the city gate.